All right. The remainder theorem. So let's talk about that in essence. The remainder theorem is pretty nice. What it says is if I've got any polynomial and I'm dividing it by any divisor, if I solve that divisor, so we'll get to solving in a second, but if I solve that divisor, I sub in that solution into the polynomial, I can get the remainder straight away. So let's see. Let's see what we're trying to say. So this is polynomial division, firstly. So I just want to compare the two for you. Right. So polynomial division is like this, and we do everything we learned. X into 2x squared, multiply, subtract, minus 3 minus 2 minus 5, minus 5, minus 5, minus 5, 6 minus 5 is 11. Okay, what's the remainder? Obviously, the remainder is 11. Right? The remainder is 11. Okay, what the remainder theorem says, just to speed up the process, because having a remainder or not having a remainder makes a world of a difference. So we don't want remainders in general. Like for most of the courses that we're going to be doing, like in year 11, year 12, we don't want remainders. So the fact that there are remainders is a bit annoying. So it's a good way to check. What the remainder theorem says is whatever my divisor is, divisor, or is it just divisor? Yeah, divisor. If I just make that equal to 0, so my divisor, which in this case is x plus 1, so I'm solving, right? Just like we solved quadratic equations and solved a lot of stuff equaling to 0. If I just make that equal to 0, I get an answer of -1, right? That's a solution now. So when you've solved, that becomes a solution. You got to get used to the words I might sometimes use now. So we've solved our divisor and we found the solution. If I sub that solution, into the polynomial p of x, I will get my remainder. So let's see if it's true. I'm going to sub in -1 into here. So 2 minus 1 squared minus 3 minus 1 plus 6. 6 plus 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11. So just take a second to write that, absorb that, and let me know. Any questions? Anything that I've written that doesn't make sense?
Sam,
Yes.
doesn't it become 3? The first one wouldn't 2 then times -1 squared? Oh, just times no, times +1. All right.
2 times 1 is 2 plus 3 is 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions then from anyone? All right. So let's see. I'll do one more. So, like I said, you could have just done polynomial division. That was my intention. But now the remainder theorem for today is we're going to sub them in. So what's the solution again for the divisor here? The solution is x equals -1. Sometimes call this solution, again, just so you guys get used to the words, sometimes called a root. So if you ever hear us saying root or solution, it just means you've solved. Okay, sub it in. -1 squared plus 5 minus 1 plus 6. 6 plus 1 is 7, minus 5 is 2. Remainder equals 2. So for those who did do their polynomial division, you can quickly check now if you're right, obviously by subbing in your solutions. Because if you get the same remainder, it is very unlikely that you have done the whole division incorrectly. All right, you would have done it right. So check it out. Give me a few answers to try these. You're just subbing them into your calculator. So someone's got an answer for us for C, so we can check.
Oh, I got -1.
-1.
Yeah.
Can somebody confirm?
I got -1 as well.
Cool. And like I say, if you do the whole division, you should have still got a remainder of -1. So now we understand the idea of the remainder theorem. Nothing too fancy. 2 plus 3 is 5, minus 14, minus 9, and then subbing in 3.
Oh, Sam?
Yes.
Oh, I got 84.
84 for the last one. This one, E.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then that's good enough. So, anyone having any problems with this? Okay. So then, I mean, again, you just do the same thing. So if you ask for the remainder, technically you don't need to go and do the whole long division. You can just sub the solution of your divisor into your polynomial, you get the remainder straight away. So it cuts a lot of the process. Let's see. When p of x cubed plus x squared minus 3x minus 2 is divided by this, the remainder is 0. Find the value of p. All right, what's step 1? What would be step 1 for you guys? Don't change. For those who know me and the way I talk, I always say don't try to change regardless of the question now. So go. If that's what we've learned, what are you going to do?
X plus 2 equals 0.
X plus 2 equals 0. Then
Which means x equals -2.
x equals -2 is a solution. Good. Sub it in. What should happen when you sub it in? There's something that is written in the question. What
The
should happen?
remainder should be 0.
So this needs to equal to
0.
And then of course, very easy to solve. Go ahead, guys. Plug maybe all of this half into your calculator, and then move it over and finish it off. Again, I'll give you a minute or two just to finish it off. Shouldn't be a minute. 30 seconds.
Sam?
Yep.
I think P should equal 1.
So what did you get first here? You would have got negative 8p. And then what did this simplify to, Darius?
Uh,
I'm guessing yes, try. 4
No.
minus 2 is 2, plus 6 is 8. Isn't that what you're trying to say? Because you said minus. Is that right? 8?
I just typed it into my calculator.
And what did it say?
It said 0.
That bit there gave you 0.
Oh no, the whole thing.
No, you can't put the whole thing into your calculator. Because you've got a p still. Right? You're solving. Forget polynomials. Think of this as if I said this to you, I don't know, x plus exactly the same thing. I'm not even going to write nothing. It's just going to be x's. You would have first had to simplify all of this number. So that's 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 plus 6 is 8. Yeah. And then you would have minused it over to start solving. Like that. And then p equals 2. Is that confusing, you guys? Just the solving part?
I'm not sure I understand what happened with this question.
Fair enough. From the beginning?
Yeah.
Yep. So the question's saying I've got a polynomial. And that polynomial is divided by, as we can see, x plus 2. And we know the remainder this time is 0. So let's pause there for a second. This divided by this gives me a remainder of 0. So what do we understand? Well, for the questions we just did above, we understand that this divided by this gave us a remainder of negative 1. How? We would have solved this, negative 2, stubbed that in, and it needed to equal negative 1, right? Exactly the same logic we're going to bring down here. So solve this. There it is. Sub it in. There it is. Can you see that substituted in for x's?
Yeah.
And then what does it need to equal to?
0.
Because the remainder must be 0. That's what it says. And then when we have that, what's the only letter that's missing?
P.
P. So that's a number, that's a number, and that's a number. So we might as well simplify all of this, collect like terms. Simplifies to 8. Negative 2 cubed is negative 8. So I've got negative 8p plus 8 equals 0. And then I'm solving.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So look at B for a second. Again, look at it. When this, don't read into it too much. Just go when this is divided by x minus 2, the remainder is 8. So that means when I sub x equals
-2. No, 2. Positive.
2 into here. X is gone, gone, gone. They're all 2's now. What must this whole thing equal to?
8.
8. And then the only letter I'll be missing is M. And then you start just doing equations. Solve for M.
Okay, thanks, Sam.
Good. Anybody else? Was that clearer now, second time around? If so, maybe try B. See if you can get it out. If you're confused, just let me know. Please.
Sam, I got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
So let's make sure. I'll do it as well now. I subbed in 2. 2 cubed plus subbed in 2. 2 squared. M sub in 2 plus 4 must be equal to 8. 8 plus 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. You know, we don't write M2. Sounds like a car. We write 2M equals 8. Subtract it. You can see, guys, at the end of the day, every topic is just going to be equations. You know, you're going to learn 1 or 2 steps at the top, but at the end of the day, everything else is just going to be equations.
Sam,
Sorry.
you know, at the start when you were simplifying how you did like 2 cubed plus 2 plus 2 squared,
Yeah.
and then you added the 4.
Yeah,
Instead, could you just send the 4 over and just like make it -4 from the start?
yeah, why not?
Oh, sorry, 4.
Yeah, that's up to you and your equation skills, man.
Okay.
No problems. You can do whatever as long as you end up getting M equals to 4, right?
Yeah.
And you're fine. All right. That's the remainder theorem done. Let's do the next bit. So let's stop that video then, if there's no questions.